my name is Theresa, and I live in Stockholm, capital of Sweden. And I am 38 years. I have to think about that because I don't remember anymore. I'm 38 years, and I live with my son, Evald, who is 6 years old. No, me and Evald's father are separated, but we live close by. So we have a really good co-parenting relationship. I work in communications, and I am from the more of the north part of Sweden. So I had some snow experience before, but I'm not. I never was like an outdoorsy person. Like my experiences with like tenting and hiking and all of that stuff were very limited before. I had never like put up a tent in the snow and stuff like that. So it was outside of my comfort zone, just that part. I think like when you have, for me, because like becoming a parent, and that is of course, it's super rewarding, but it's also limiting in a lot of ways, because you get so, I mean, you get attached to the place where you live and like the place where your kid like goes to school or kindergarten or wherever, and the other parent and stuff like that. So you're kind of, sometimes you can feel a little stuck in the place you're at, and like being a mother, it takes up so much of your time and like your brain space and all of that. And it's also I think I got a bit bored with myself. Like I wanted to challenge myself to do something that I'd never done before, to still feel like, you know, I'm still progressing, I'm still moving forward, even though I am like living this whole like having a little kid life. I also want to do something that's for me, just for me. But in a way, it also felt like I'm happy to show my kid that you can actually, you're not like just a mom. You're also a person. Like I'm still myself. So, and I still want to be able to, I think that's also an important part of being a parent. Like I want to inspire him, and I want to like widen his horizons. I want him to feel like, yeah, I mean, if I want to go dog sledding in the Arctic, it's not impossible. I mean, you can try, even if you've never done it before. It's worth to try it. And I want him to feel like he has all of the possibilities if he's just like courageous enough to try. Well, I mean, the thing that felt, I wouldn't have done this by myself, because then I would have felt unsafe, because I don't have like the skill set, I don't have the gear, I don't have the money to buy that gear. But like feeling like, okay, but if I actually win a spot, like if I become one of these 20 people, then Fjällräven will take care of me, and I will be surrounded by this team, and I will have all these other people that, and we will help each other. And like there was this sense of still being safe, even though you were doing something that for me felt like super adventurous.
Then, so once when you have this idea of to step up your comfort zone, and the next would be, do you have to like talk with your son about your decision of your parents, like, because this is
Yeah.
a decision you made, but the preparation, I believe, is not for me. The preparation just like, okay, Irene, get ready. But I believe
Yeah. I mean, that can be enough. That can be a lot.
because you have your full-time job and you have your kids, and kids have to go to school, like all the daily life.
Yeah.
How do you manage for your preparation?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, a big and important part is that like being able to sync this with his dad, and his dad being supportive and helping me, and like having Evald for a couple, like for extra days, for days that fit this entire trip and all of that. So him and me collaborating was very important. I mean, also just like having time off from work work being very but they were also so sweet, because I just started my new work when I applied for this. So, and I got the message that I actually got one of the spots when I was at work. So they've been very involved. So there was always just this like, yes, of course. So that was also good. But then I also have I mean, I have other loved ones here that I also felt like it's gonna be okay to leave Evald for this time, because I have so much support around me that it's, and he has so much support and love around him. So it's, I mean, you're a parent, but you're not alone. I mean, he's so.
And what about your kids?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like trying to explain to him, like, yeah, I'm going dog sledding. He was like, uh-huh. He wasn't really that impressed. He was like, uh-huh, okay, have fun. Can I watch some TV now? But I mean, he was a part of I think at least one of my challenges that I did. He was in it, so he was really proud of that video. He was like, "Can I watch it again?" So he at least felt like he had some part in it. And then the closer we got, the easier it became to explain to him like what I was going to do. Like I showed him on a map, and I could show him videos from the previous years. And then when you got to Stockholm, him and me met with Lena from Germany and Karina from Mexico, like the day before. So he actually got to meet like people from other countries and try and communicate with them and hanging out. So I felt like that enriched his day as well. You know, he still talks about that day. He loved that day. That felt really cool as well.
Yeah, you also opened up his world.
He did, and he like tried to learn how to say Fjällräven in their languages, and he taught them how to say Fjällräven with the correct pronunciation. So, I mean, all of that is pretty cool, I think. I really loved seeing it.
During the trip, like, did you struggling sometimes by like missing your kids so much, or you just?
Yeah, a little bit. I did a little bit. I think that, as you say, we had so much going on, so that helped. Like you didn't really have the time to stop and be like, oh, I wonder what's going on at home. You were just like, ah. It's like trying to put up a tent, but or just being on the sled. I mean, I didn't dare like take up my phone when I was on the sled. I thought I was going to fall off. So
yeah.
Took a couple of times before I could actually do a little film.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it was easier in the beginning when you still had a signal, because then I knew that like if there's something going on, if something happens, then they will be able to reach me.
Yeah.
But like as the signal disappeared, it was like, oh. So I think that was actually the first that's when I really struggled, like when we lost the signal, and I think that evening I really felt that. I mean, there's a lot of time left, and I felt so disconnected to home. But that also, I mean, we were several parents, and I think that it was just one night, and I like noticed Ben felt the same, and we were both like, God, we really just want to be at home now, and you feel a bit ungrateful because you're at this like wonderful adventure. That so many people would like give everything to be part of, and you still have this feeling of like, God, I just want to sit on the couch right now with my kid and just like relax.
Oh.
But you know, you can have two feelings at the same time, and it also became easier when you could actually just admit that to someone. So it just like takes the pressure off, and it's just like, okay, well, that's one feeling we have, but it's fine. Most of the time I spent like I really got to feel that I was in the moment for the most part of it, which was a wonderful feeling. I think it's kind of rare for me to have that feeling, because there's always something else you have to think about, you have to plan, like what's for dinner, when can I leave work, when can I pick him up, when can I all of those like practical stuff. But it was so good for my mind to just have that time and just all the hours on the sled we had every day. And just like everything you focused on was like your dogs and the sled. I love that so much. That was like my favorite thing. I'll always cherish. I will never forget that feeling. Just traveling, and when we got like above the tree line, it was just like this amazing space of nothing. It was so wonderful.
Yeah, it feels like outer space. Like
Yeah, it really did. I felt that way too.
you just like, wow, am I walking on the moon or something?
I get shivers now. Now that we're talking about it.
Not the same
Yeah,
feeling.
but it was really cool to have the feeling of just of being like alone almost. I mean, we were a team, but still.
I need to stay awake. No, I'm joking. Just
Did you fall asleep? You
oh,
can tell me.
okay, actually,
It
yes.
was very meditative. Like at times you were just like, ah, and
Um,
other times you were just like,
yeah, sometimes it's like, wow, it's just so peaceful and quiet and yeah, control your dogs, don't, go too fast. And
uh, but it was. I mean, even if I still sometimes worried, and of course I missed him. I knew that he was of course safely taken care of at home, so I could relax when I was actually there. And also it was nice to do it because I always had him with me. Like I see stuff from my point of view, but then I also see stuff like, oh, Eva would have thought this was so cool. Like I can't wait to tell him about this, and I see that, and like it makes the experience even more rich for me because I can see it from his perspective as well.
yeah,
And I had some stuff with me to like not remind me of him, like that I wouldn't need that, but still, like I had my Swedish flag on my sled, and he had made like little. I asked him to do little drawings on it, so he made little like
yeah.
tiny Swedish flags on the big Swedish flags and a little heart, and I always had that like when I was driving. And I had a little stick figure that he had made of him, and a little husky plushie that I bought on the airport when we're going there, that I had with me that I photographed for him in different
Oh,
places. So you see that when I got home and he got the plushie. So that was,
that's so
yeah,
sweet.
he was. Oh, and he made. Oh, I took this out to show you. He had actually made me a diploma when
What?
I got home. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh,
It's very hard to see. It says diplom, and
uh-huh.
this is me on the sled with the Swedish flag. I don't know if I'm sleeping, maybe. I'm very relaxed, as you can see, and the dog's going really fast. And yeah, so that was very precious. Yeah, but it was nice to have other parents to just feel like. I mean, you all knew how it
Yeah.
feels.
And when you came back to from the expedition, um,
Mm.
what does your kids say, or how do you feel? Do you feel change throughout this Fjällräven Polar?
Oh yeah, man, I was so happy for this whole experience. Like it was super important to me, and I mean I don't get to do these things. It's not like a normal thing for me to do. So for me, it felt really big, and but I was also very happy to be home. Like I was super happy to meet my kid again and to try and tell him about what I'd experienced. And I also had the camera. What's
Yeah,
that called? Like the instant.
yeah.
So when I developed the images and I could actually show him photos and we can sit and watch like this, it kind of becomes more real for him as well. But he was happy with his toys, and I got him some candy from the Norwegian airport. So he's just like, yeah, that's nice. Mom is home again. Good. All is well. Nothing special.
Thank you so
But
much.
I
Yeah.
actually, when I, there was actually one day when I had gotten home and I noticed that he had left open this. He has this book that has like maps and like exciting expedition stuff like that. So he had left that open, and it was like all the tallest mountains in the world spread. And then he had little like Duplo figures, and he has one that's always me. So he had like made a little sled, and I was in the front of the sled, and there were some other people, and I saw he had like played that I was going in the mountains like that. So I felt like, yeah, for him now this is a thing. Like this is a thing that moms do.
Yeah.
So that felt really cool. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, yeah, this actually worked. I think it's important to like take care of yourself and your own needs to be a good parent as well. I mean, I want to teach my kid to be happy, and I want to teach my kid to have fun and have adventures, and he's going to be who he becomes. Like that's I can't like set his personality or what he wants to do, but if I can inspire him some way, then I'm very happy about it.
And you are already a good, like very good role model in that way. I would tell.
I try. I mean, most of the time he still just gets to see me like in here, like we have to go to school. But then maybe he can think of me on the dog sled as well. So a bit more nuanced image of me, at least. We went to Fjällräven's store, and they have this big wall of photos. And he was like, oh, look at that. That's what you're gonna do. And it's just someone like having this super adventure. So yeah. It's very cool that he thinks that way now.
That's so cool.
I'm very happy about that. It was super worth it from all counts.
Thank you so much for sharing all your experience here, and
thank you. So good to see you again. Take care now.